Hello everyone, welcome to Japan Spirit. I'm Takashi Kawatani.
And my name is Ha Nguyen.
This program is about revisiting Japan Spirit in order to reflect upon the strengths and challenges of Japanese values as we play a more global role.
For our first year 2016, Japan Spirit featured traditional Japanese values such as Japanese approach to faith and nature, etc. And we will start a new series which is the cross-cultural business communication. And in this series, we'll be exploring how to bridge and build trust across cultures, especially between non-Japanese and Japanese. And in particular, we want to shed a light on the real intentions and sincere heart of Japanese business people.
Here's the reason that we want to start this new series. For the last few dozen or 30 years, I've been traveling around the world to help the Japanese expatriates and the local counterparts in China, Southeast Asia, India, US and Europe, and Japan, of course. And I've been trying to help resolve the actual real-life intercultural relationship issues or management or leadership issues. Overseas you have to lead people, so you have a lot of motivation, communication issues. And what I do in the program is role-playing exercises. Have you done a role-play in your school days?
I have done a few times.
Okay. In this case, role play, for our viewers, I should explain that role play is a simulated conversation between two persons. In this case, Japanese expatriate and a local counterpart discuss the real issue happening between them based on the case study written by this Japanese expatriate or by the local person. So simulated conversation. I've been observing this many times, and I've come to a very strange pattern in the conversation.
Can you share that pattern?
The pattern is that the Japanese expat seem to tend to keep pushing in the conversation their points,
I see.
and very little pulling. Yeah. So by pushing, I mean they tend to impose their requests upon the local counterparts, and pulling is they don't ask as many questions as they should, like about the difficulties of getting the job done in time and on time. So after numerous trainings and several research projects, I have come to the feel that the true cause of such pushing, is not really they're stubborn or angry or don't have much managerial experiences overseas, but the true cause is that they have little self-respect as a Japanese person and as a member of the company. So because their message do not touch a chord of the people they're trying to make happy.
I see.
Empathy or unity do not show in their face and words. So I believe it is the first step to regain this self-respect and confidence before we learn any international business skills or knowledge. Have a look. There are 4 stages of being able to create the message that touches a chord. And all start with the first step, the bottom, self-respect, about Japanese culture, empathy, and the love of your workplace, and your company's excellence in technologies and service quality and so forth. For example, by that I mean, you are working for Channel Sakura as an employee. Yes. Okay, you're staff here. And then I would ask you, okay, can you tell me, what do you feel most proud about Channel Sakura, for example? Okay? Or what do you feel most proud about doing this Japan Spirit, for example?
I think the most merit that I find in working for this program is that I can learn a lot of new things. For example, each program, you introduce a lot of new terms, a lot of new definitions.
Okay. Okay.
So I feel like this is the best thing I could draw from this program.
If you can answer like that, I think our communication goes very smoothly. Or if I am come for a job interview for this company, Channel Sakura, and you are my interviewer, okay, I am the interviewee,
Yes.
then I will ask you, why do I need to work for Channel Sakura? Tell me the special reason why I should work for you full time, for example. Huh? No need to answer that. So unless you have a self-respect and empathize with the mission of your company and you love your job, your answer will be very half-baked, not very concrete. So that's what I mean by start with self-respect.
Self-respect.
And because of the self-respect, that gives you confidence to accept other people as they are, the differences that they may bring to the conversation. Without self-respect, you don't have a space in yourself to be able to feel, empathetic or about your difficulties. So with the self-confidence, that gives you some space to develop your own philosophy of life or work, yeah? Original ideas. And based on that philosophy, for example, in my case, my original original ideas is that Japan needs more Japan. Japanese need to be more Japanese in order to be not so stubborn, but to be more flexible and be ready to work with the people from diverse backgrounds. See? Ironically, but that is my sort of original ideas. From that, the words that come out of my mouth, our mouths will be personally touching the chord of the people. That's the message. The message touches a chord by satisfying the needs of other people first while being open to their views. Yeah? Meaning we need to be open to be influenced by the people, ready to change my ideas.
I see.
Yeah? So all these 4 steps, if you can read the Japanese viewers, Jisonshin, Jishin, Jiron, and Jiron, or Jisetsu, the 4 Gs, for example, there are 4 stages. That give you space for accepting other people and do more pull and less pushing. Okay, so these are the area where the Japanese, including myself, of course, need training. But having said that, Japanese people, I think you will agree, have an amazing gift in a certain other area where we can regain the self-confidence. And that is this word that's becoming finally popular in the Western world, VUCA world. This is where Japan can be more proud of.
VUCA is an acronym used to describe or reflect on the volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity of general conditions and situations. The notion of VUCA was introduced by the U.S. Army War College to describe the more volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous multilateral world, which resulted from the end of the Cold War. The common usage of the term VUCA began in the 1990s and derives from the military vocabularies.
Okay, so the interesting thing is that the European and US business schools have started to teach VUCA to the Western executive MBA students, professional people. But as far as Japan is concerned, we have been doing this VUCA for a long time.
For a long time.
And Western people, uninformed, unknowledgeable people about the Japanese way of communication, criticize the Japanese for being vague and wishy-washy. But what's wrong about VUCA? Okay, the only constant is change in the Japanese philosophy or Asian philosophy or Chinese philosophy. Nothing is not volatile. Things are all uncertain. There's very few things we can forecast as certain. Market condition, political situation, all is uncertain. Sea is complex. All these living forms, animals and plants and insects, we are all complex beings. And things are ambiguous, or emotions are ambiguous. I like to continue this program, but at the same time, it's a challenge to continue this program. Ambivalent. We want to work together, yes. Sometimes we don't want to work together.
Yes.
Sometimes. That's human nature. That's VUCA. So it's yes and no, rather than yes or no,
Yes.
like in other culture. So the point is nothing to be ashamed of being the way we are, but we are very good at VUCA already. So the point is why Japanese are so comfortable about being uncomfortable, because VUCA is definitely uncomfortable, right?
Yes.
But we sort of enjoy navigate freely. It's because while other worlds are struggling with finding peace and order in the Middle East, Europe, and the US recently.
Yes.
So it's because why Japan is comfortable about being uncomfortable was my question. It's because of the mental compass to navigate the VUCA world. Remember, viewers, about a year ago we used to start with the program with this picture, the mandala of Japanese culture. Japan is, how do you say in Japanese? Japan.
Nihon.
Nihon or Nippon, right? The classic name of Nippon, this country, is Yamato no Kuni. You know, Yamato. If you know how to spell Yamato, my viewers, big harmony nation, Yamato no Kuni. So my translation of Japan is that Japan is a nation of great harmony.
Oh, I see.
Isn't that nice?
Yes, I think
A lot of people like
yeah.
it. You know, and the wa is heiwa no wa also can also mean peace. So Japan is the nation of great harmony and peace.
And peace.
Exactly telling what she is. Huh?
Yes.
All right. It's the wa harmony spread to this 5,000-6,000 islands of Japan by the exercise of Prince Shotoku and handed down even today.
Hello.
Hello,
What's your name?
Ismail.
Where you come from?
From Egypt.
Okay. You here for on vacation or
No, I work here.
You work
I
here.
work in Japan.
Okay.
Look, Japan is a unique place. You preserve your old culture, yet you, at the same time you are having the latest technology. But apart of the culture and technology, I try to speak about the Japanese people. That they have a special spirit. That spirit that you cannot find it anywhere in the world. The politeness, the cautiousness, everything.
Everything. So can you give me some specific?
I believe that it's a matter of brought up. They are brought up in order to respect the elder, in order to help people, in order to work for the country well. So I believe this ethics, I believe it's the best ethics, as it's only unique and categorized only in Japan.
Okay. What makes it different with your country?
No, there are many differences between our own country, but the equalities between Japan and Egypt is the big heritage.
Okay.
We are depending on a very big heritage, with the Pharaoh heritage, and also Japan, you are depending on a very big history.
What do you think makes Japan spirit? From Japan spirit, makes Japan is Japan.
Japan is Japan because the people of Japan.
Because of people.
Yes.
So there's anything you want to see Japan have to change?
I don't believe that Japan has to change. I have to say that Japan has to stay as it is.
Oh.
Japan, we call it continent Japan. And I believe that it is the aim of everybody to come and live in Japan because of their people, because of the democracy, because of many things. The values are very good.
Thank you. Where you come from?
We're from France.
From France.
Yeah.
So you live?
We live in Yokohama.
Okay.
Yeah.
For how long?
2 years now.
2 years now.
Yeah.
Okay, so you must know like a lot of things about Japan.
A little bit, maybe more than the normal tourist, but there's so
Okay.
many things to discover.
One word to describe what would be Japan spirit that makes Japan is Japan.
Yeah, I would say well-being.
Well-being.
Yeah, well-being for them and to others.
Okay, this central core of Japan culture is wa, surrounded by 6 other elements. Okay, let us go through very briefly, one by one, just briefly. Community. Remember the last 2 program about Ruthie Jaman? She talked about sense of community or kyosei no seishin, yeah? Meaning we want to stay in sync with the environment. Our Your speaking better be in sync, yeah? Aligned. That's or making everyone happy, a smooth relationship to the environment. She was saying the whole country is like bukatsu, a students' club, like tennis club or whatever. Okay, altruism is selfless, like in a natural disaster, as is widely known. Suppose I'm a self-defense forces soldier, and you are the suffered person in the disaster. You are thirsty, and I bring you a bottle of mineral water. Then you might say, "Oh, I'm fine." You look at Thai soldier. You look at the pregnant lady over there. She has not had drink for half a day. Give it to her first. Me a second. That's selfless. Okay? Selfless. And appreciation. Thanks to God. If you remember, if you have missed our feature a few months ago about the secret of Japanese language, you must watch it on the YouTube. Our appreciation goes to God first, and then down to the person. So up-down structure, we work together, right? Appreciation. So that eases the tension between the two. Whereas English is I thank you, I love you, shortcut.
Yes.
Okay. Aesthetic. Wow, that's hard to explain. Not only physically beautiful, like a beautiful lady and man, whatever, physical, yeah? Like wabi-sabi in the Japanese case. Requires simplicity, subdued refinement. That's visual aesthetic, like in temples and shrines, our clothes, natural environment. But more importantly, aesthetic is about things that are in sync with the environment, like we said a while ago. For example, people at the end, in front of a train station, door open,
Yes.
we patiently stand in line. That's aesthetic, like kirei, utsukushii desu ne. Not just visually, but psychologically. Yes. Things are in sync. Kata is a proven process, tested process or form. So the literal meaning is that. But more importantly, kata is an accumulated, tested process. That means transmission. Or from generation to generation, our secrets of technology, yeah? Yes. Or art. Finally, authenticity. In Japanese, shinshosei, but also in daily conversation, shizentai. That's the ultimate way of life of Japanese people. You know, famous tennis player, Japanese, Nishikori. Is it Nishikori?
Yes, I know him.
I read in a newspaper a few years back when he was still 8th in the world ranking. He said before the matches in Australia or something,
I see.
I'm going to go into this game with shizentai. Even small wrestlers and tennis player, whoever before an important fight, they go into shizentai, meaning without pretension, trying not to be bigger than himself, natural attitude. Okay, that's wrap up of the 7 elements of mandala. I don't know if I've explained very well or not, but is there anything that you find most interesting?
My most interesting part of Japanese mandala, based on my observations during my stay in Japan, is the appreciation to God, to nature. Like how Japanese people are very, very thankful to what nature has given them. And I think that's also the reason why Japanese people love saying thank you so much.
Ah, exactly. Oh, I cannot thank you enough.
Yes.
Sumimasen, meaning
Yes.
my appreciation not enough. That's what we did in the Secret of Japanese Language feature. So the point here is that these are the reasons that Japanese can navigate today's VUCA world. So we can be more proud of being like that. So overall, the mandala is telling us the need to have a middle way, not the extreme dichotomy. Okay. So that's about today's program. And how's today's program overall?
Luckily, today's program, I also learned a new thing, which is VUCA word. And I'm very surprised to learn that Japanese people have practiced and have adapted themselves with these elements for years.
I'd like to remind the viewers that it all starts with the very bottom, self-respect about our own environment, our community, and the country, as well as if you're business people, regain the love of our job and the company. And to end the program, I'd like to quote from a book titled Organizational Behavior of International Dimensions of Organizational Behavior. It's a business school text book. And I'd like to quote from The Way of Lao Tzu. Okay? It captures a traditional Chinese version of a leadership from the 6th century, Shinju Sengoku Jidai, the spring and autumn period, and the Warring States period, 6th century BC. Okay? Lao Tzu said in The Way of Lao Tzu, I have 3 treasures. Guard and keep them. The first is deep love, the second is frugality, and the third is not to dare to be ahead of the world. Not to be ahead of the world. And because of deep love, one is courageous, and because of frugality, one is generous, and because of not daring to be ahead of the world, one becomes leader of the world.
Oh, I see.
Thank you, Chinese, for teaching us the philosophy of Lao Tzu.
So with such a Japanese mandala approach, I'm curious whether Japanese people are truly good at all aspects of managing diversity. And how about leading a multi-ethnic and multinational employees at work?
Okay, that seems very much a challenge. So that'll be the topic for the next program.
Yes, I think. Thank you for watching, and until next time,
Goodbye.
goodbye.